here. This is the hardest part of the whole yoga session. So you're here, so that's great. So today we're going to have just a nice full range of motion asana, stretching all the big muscles to hopefully take away any stiffness and boost our energy, increasing the blood flow to all the large muscles and hopefully increasing the communication between the brain and the body. So I wanted to bring out some feelings of gratitude and joy. And as the world is in turmoil, sometimes it's hard to find the joy in, or it's hard to be joyful, but if we can all contribute to a bit of joy, the effect can be huge. So you might be contributing to your own joy, but also to the joy of those people around you. So that sort of comes out to then what might be our life's purpose to, you know, create the joy within ourselves and other people. So let's bring ourselves to some stillness, softening your eyes and landing and arriving in your yoga space. Taking some deep breaths. Noticing the floor beneath your body, supporting you in your yoga practice. Lifting your spine up nice and tall. As you inhale, imagine you're inhaling the energy from the earth up through your feet and through your sit bones, up through your spine, through your whole body. And then as you exhale, breathing out all that does not serve you. Just noticing the rise and fall of your chest as you breathe in and breathe out. Checking into your body, noticing how you're feeling. Noticing any areas that may be feeling a little stiff. Exhaling into those areas. And noticing how you're feeling in your mind. There may be thoughts that come in. Just acknowledge them and let them be there. Let them go. Just taking a few more breaths here. And then slowly moving your hands towards your knees and just giving your shoulders a roll. Continue on with your breathing. And moving your neck from side to side. And then bring your chin to your chest. And inhaling, lifting your chin towards the sky. And exhale, bring your chin to your chest. Just going up and down a couple more times. And then bring your nose back to center. And let's turn to the right side. Bring our left hand to the right knee. And our right hand behind us. Looking over the right shoulder. Taking a few breaths. Nice twist in your spine. And then inhale back to the center and exhale to the other side. And then come back to center and placing our right hand on the ground, left hand over the top, stretching through the left side of the body. And then to the other side. Let's do one more on each side. And then coming to a tabletop position. Opening up your fingertips and having your knees underneath your hips, pressing your palms down towards the mat. Let's do a couple of circles, just moving our body a little bit, whichever way feels good for you. And then coming into some cat-cows. As you inhale, lifting your chest and lifting your gaze. Nice curve in the bottom of your spine. And exhale, bring your spine up towards the ceiling and opening up through the shoulders and the back of the neck. Just getting some nice movement and some warmth into the body. Coming back to your breath. And from here, let's widen our knees and coming back, sitting on our heels, lifting our spine up nice and tall, and then walking our body forward into child's pose, bringing your hands forward and bringing your forehead down towards the mat. Just take some nice deep breaths, opening up your palms, feeling the palms on the earth. As you exhale, draw your forehead down a little closer to the mat. Just stretching up through the lower back and through the upper back and shoulders and through the arms. Let's take a few more breaths here. Surrendering into the child's pose. Leaving behind all the busyness of your morning and coming back to the intention of our practice to cultivate some joy. Let's take 2 more breaths here. And then coming up to tabletop, bringing our knees back underneath us again. And we're going to inhale, bring our body forward into an upward dog. And exhale, coming back to child's pose, sliding your hands back towards your body. And just continue on. Inhale, coming up to child's pose. And exhale into child. Just getting some nice movement into your spine, stretching through the front of your body and through the back of your body. Then coming back to tabletop, we'll do a little bit of shoulder opening, moving the right hand towards the center of the mat. We're going to inhale, lift up the left hand, open up through the chest. Welcome, Elsa. And exhale, hover the left hand under the right. Inhale, open up. Notice the stretch through the chest and through the shoulders. Inhale, lift all the way up. And this time we're going to bring the left hand and back of the arm down towards the mat and slide the right hand forward. Taking a few breaths here, noticing the stretch through the left scapula. Take 2 more breaths here. And then inhale, bring the left hand back up to the mat. And this time we're going to draw the left hand in towards the middle of the mat and inhale, lift up the right hand. Take your eyes with the right hand, twisting through the upper back and stretching through the chest. Exhale, draw the right hand under the left, threading the needle. Inhale all the way up. It's really twisting through the upper back. getting some nice movement into the shoulders. And then exhale, bring the right arm down towards the mat and bring your right ear down, sliding the left hand forward and relaxing into a nice deep stretch on the right scapula. Just taking a few breaths here. Let's take 2 more breaths. And then inhale, bring the right hand back up, come back to our tabletop position. And let's take our buttocks back to our heels, lifting up our chest and walking our hands forward back into child's pose. And taking a couple of breaths here, just really stretching out through the shoulders and the lower back. Coming back to breathing, surrendering into the pose, feeling that deep stretch through the shoulders. Also stretching through the groin area and lower back. Take 2 more breaths here. And then coming back up to tabletop and bringing your knees underneath you. We're going to tuck our toes under and lift our hips up into downward dog and walk our heels down to the mat, stretching out the back of our legs and our Achilles and the muscles underneath our feet. Just walking the heels down one at a time, taking a few deep breaths. And from here, we're going to do some upward dogs and some downward dogs. So we're building on what we did before. So you can bring your knees down to the mat. Inhale, lift up through the chest into an upward dog. And then exhale, bring your hips up, back up to the sky in a downward dog. Just continue on, just a nice flow with your breathing, getting some movement into your spine. Let's do 2 more rounds. And then we'll meet back into downward dog. And from here, we're going to go into a 3-legged dog. So we're going to bend our lift our left foot up off the ground and point the knee up towards the ceiling, stretching the body. Just taking a few deep breaths here. Take the right heel down towards the mat. 1 more breath. And then release the left foot back down to the ground, coming back to tabletop. Do a couple of cat-cows, stretching through our spine. And then tucking our toes under, going back up into downward dog. And this time we're going to lift the right foot off the mat and bend the right knee and take the sole of the right foot up towards the ceiling. Taking some deep breaths here and drop the left heel down towards the mat. 2 more breaths here, nice and strong. And then release the right foot back down to the mat, coming back to child's pose. Letting your breath come back to a nice natural breath again. Coming back to our intention for our practice of joyfulness. Let's take 1 more breath in child's pose, then coming up, standing on your knees, and then coming up to standing. Just give your body a little shake, give your wrists a little bit of circling. We've done quite a lot of wrist work already. From here, we're going to go into a warrior pose, turning our left foot out slightly to the left, step forward with the right foot. And we're going to inhale, lift up our arms, lift up our chest, raise our gaze, bending our right knee. Feel the deep stretch on the left hip flexor, lifting up as if we're holding a beach ball up towards the sky. Let's take 2 more breaths, nice and strong through the right thigh. And then take the right hand forward, left hand back, gazing towards the right hand, stretching out, bringing the hands slightly back, stretching through the front of the body. And 2 more breaths here, nice and strong through the right thigh. And then bringing both hands back behind, straightening out the right leg, bring the chest down towards the right leg, bring the hands behind in a clasp position, and lifting up the hands off your lower back, lifting up your chest into humble warrior. Notice the deep stretch down the back of the right leg, plus stretching through the shoulders. Then releasing both hands down to the mat. From here, you can place a block just inside your right foot and lift your left hand up. Take your gaze with the left hand into triangle pose. That's it. Nice deep stretch through that right leg. And then release the left hand down to the mat. Inhale, bending the right knee, coming back up to standing, hands to Anjali Mudra, and bring your feet back together. Give your legs a little shake, and then we'll go to the other side. So turn the right foot out slightly, step forward with the left foot, and you should be aligned with your left heel and your right arch, shoulders and hips facing forward. We're going to inhale, lift our chest, bend our left leg, and lift our arms up, lifting that beach ball up towards the ceiling again. Taking some deep breaths and looking up, connecting with the stretch through the right hip. Two more breaths here. And then take the left hand forward, right hand back, looking towards the left hand, keeping the left knee bent still, opening up the hands, moving them back slightly, so you're getting a really nice stretch through the front of the chest and squeezing the shoulder blades together. And then we're going to lengthen the left leg, bring both hands forward, and then bring them back behind you, clasping your hands, lifting the chest and lengthening the left leg into humble warrior. So deep stretch down the back of the left leg and nice stretch through the shoulders. Let's take 2 more breaths here. And then release your hands down to the mat and place the left hand next to the left foot. If you have a block, you can place the left hand on the block. Then inhale, lift the right hand up and take your gaze up to the right hand, opening up through the chest. Notice deep stretch down the back of the left leg. And 2 more breaths here. And then bring the right hand down to the mat. Slight bend in the left leg and then come back up to standing. And give your legs a little shake. Okay, from here, we're going to come back down to a yogi squat. So if you have a bolster or a blanket that you can place behind your heels, pop them down on the ground. So you've got a little bit of support under your heels. And we're going to go nice and wide with the knees, toes pointing out. Keep the chest up nice and tall. So you can come to here or you can go lower. If you come lower, you can use your elbows to push out. If you're in a high position, just keeping your chest up. That's it, nice. So we're really hoping to open up our hip area. Let's take 4 more breaths. You might like to soften your eyes here. Come back to your breath and surrender into that nice opening through the groin area, through the hips. And then releasing your hands down to the earth and coming into a forward bend. You can kick away whatever you have behind your heels into forward bend and heel toe your feet wider. And relaxing your body forward. You might have your crown of your head facing down towards the floor. Go as wide as you can, palms facing the floor, palms flat on the floor, and your crown of your head pointing towards the floor. Nice straight legs and feeling that deep stretch down the back of both legs. And just settle into your breath, noticing the rise and fall. Allowing the lower back to open up and all the little spaces in our vertebrae, in our spine to open up a little bit. Then we're going to inhale, lift our chest and lengthen our spine. And then heel toe your feet a little closer together. And then coming back into a tabletop position. And from tabletop, we're going to move into a lizard pose. So we're going to take our right foot forward and place it next to our right hand. Okay, and then have both hands placed flat on the ground. Now from here, you can leave your knee on the ground or you can lift your knee up into lizard and feeling that nice stretch through the right hip. We can take this one step further. So we've got our left hand on the ground and we can lift our right hand up and open it up into a lizard triangle. Let's take a few breaths here. Feel that deep stretch through the glutes on the right side. And then return the right hand back down to the mat. Bring the left knee back down and come back to tabletop. And then we go to this other side. So this time we're going to lift the left foot and put it next to the left hand. So from here, we're going to stay here, or you can lift the right knee up and then take the left hand up into a lizard triangle. So it's a bit of a fun pose, but it's also really good to open up through the glute, the lower back area and the hip area. Looking up towards that left hand. Take 2 more breaths here. And then bring the left hand back down to the mat. Right knee back down to the mat and come back to tabletop. Nice work. And then let's just flush that out, tucking our toes under, come into a downward dog and walking our heels down. Starting to get a bit warm now, feeling a little bit of heat there. Walking your heels down. And then taking your feet as wide as you can and walk your hands towards your feet. So you're in a forward bend and then coming up to standing. Just bend your knees, come up to standing position. Okay, let's do a couple of little balance moves. So the first one, we're going to do a variation of a tree pose. So this is going to help with the ITB areas. So if you need to have something close by, you can. So we're going to bring our left leg in front of the right leg, bending the right knee and bring the chest forward. You can bring your hands to Anjali Mudra, feeling a stretch through the left ITB between the knee and the hip. Find yourself a gazing point or a drishti point. Let's take 4 breaths here. Nice. And then coming back up and releasing the left leg to the ground. Give both legs a shake. Let's open up our left feet and just do a little circle, getting connection with the ankle points on the left side. And then bring the right foot in front of the left leg, bending the left knee, bringing the chest forward. Find yourself your gazing point. That's it. And then come into that nice stretch on the right side. Find your gaze point. Let's take 4 breaths here. If you need to hold on to something, you can. Just noticing how you're feeling on one side to the other. And then release and come back up to standing. Give your legs a little shake. And we'll do one more fun pose in our balancing sequence. So the next one is a dancer pose. So I'm going to go side on to you. So we're going to start off with opening up the right foot, opening up the toes, and move your hips in a little circular direction so you feel the anchor points on the right side. Then we're going to bend the left knee and bring the left foot into the left hand. Standing upright, then we're going to kick back with the left leg, bring our chest forward and bring our right hand forward into dancer. So find yourself your gazing point. So kicking back with that left foot, taking 4 more breaths here. And then release, come back up to upright. Nice. Okay, then we'll go to the other side. So this time we're going to balance on the left foot. So find the anchor points on the left side. Standing nice and upright, bend the right knee, bring the right foot into the right hand. Find your gaze point and then kick back with the right leg, lift your chest and bring the left hand forward. Find the gaze point, kicking it back, 4 breaths. So you're getting a nice stretch through the quad here as well. 1 more breath and then release. Nice work, ladies. Okay, let's come down to the ground, onto our backs, into reclining pigeon pose. So we're going to lay down with our knees bent and the heels of our feet close to our buttocks. And we're going to lift up our left leg, bring it across the front of the right leg, and then lift the right foot off the ground, reach forward. You can either grab onto the left leg or the right shin or right thigh, and then allow your head to go back down to the mat. So pulling that leg into your chest. Come back to your breath and surrender into the stretch, feeling that nice stretch through the left glutes, the left ITB, releasing any tension you might have in the lower back. Let's take 2 more breaths here. And then release your hands, let your right foot go to the mat. Keep the leg crossed. Take your hands out to the side, straight out from your shoulders, and allow your knees to fall towards the right side and look towards the left. You can place your right hand on that left knee, bring it across a little further. Just taking a few breaths here. So surrendering into that deep stretch down the left side of the body. Two more breaths. And then release the knee, inhale back to center and swap your legs over. So this time lifting up your right leg, bringing over the front of the left leg, and then reaching forward with your hands. Draw that right leg towards your chest, and you can reach through with your hands and either hold on to the right leg or the left shin or the left thigh. Allow your head to rest back on the mat. And come back to your breathing and surrendering into that nice stretch on the right side. Let's take 2 more deep breaths here. And then allow your hands to release that left foot back to the mat and drop the knees towards the left side, looking to the right. And you can use your left hand to draw that right knee a little closer to the ground. Allow yourself to twist, freeing up the tension you might have in the lower back. You might feel a little click in place. Let's take 2 more breaths here, keeping the back nice and flat on the ground so you get a nice stretch through the front of the chest as well. And then inhale, bring your knees back to center. And then hug both knees into your chest in a little circle, just massaging the lumbar spine. And then with your knees bent, I want you to reach forward through the inside of the knees towards the ankles or the outside of the feet, keeping the knees bent and bringing the soles of the feet so they're facing towards the ceiling into happy baby. This is a great one to stretch out the lower back as well. So you can move around however your body wants to. You might want to stay still or roll from side to side or backwards and forwards, whatever feels right for you. Coming back to your breath. Just take 4 breaths here and come back to the intention of your practice. Joyful, positive practice. Bringing joy to yourself so that you can bring joy to others. This is what happy babies do. They lie on their back and lift their legs up. It's a really nice, joyful pose. And then release your hands, bringing your feet back down to the mat. Placing the palms of your hands flat on the mat. And I want you to inhale, lift up through the hips into bridge pose. And you can bring your hands underneath and clasp them and draw your shoulder blades together. Pushing through the heels. Let's take in some nice deep breaths here, feeling a stretch through the front of the body, squeezing the buttocks, a nice stretch through the back of the neck. Let's take 4 more breaths here. And then release your hands, allow your spine to slowly roll down to the mat. Hug your knees to your chest into Uttanasana, flushing out your back after that backward bend. And from here, we're going to go into our legs up position. So you might like to do legs up the wall, or you might like to come into a shoulder stand or a supported shoulder stand with a bolster or a block underneath your lower back lifting up. So whatever feels right for you today, coming into that position. And we're going to take 10 breaths here. If you're in shoulder stand, drawing your elbows a little closer together, having your hands, your hips in your hands. Let's give our legs a little shake, circling our ankles so our feet feel nice and light. Coming back to the breath. You might like to take your feet out wide. Nice big deep breaths. And you can bring your soles of your feet together with your knees out like a butterfly. And then bring your feet back up in the air again. If you're in shoulder stand, you might like to drop your feet over the top of your head towards the mat into plow pose. Taking 2 more breaths here. And then as you inhale, slowly lower your spine, down to the mat. So you're laying down into Savasana. So making yourself really comfortable on the mat here. So you may like to have a bolster underneath your knees to support your lower back, or you can have your legs flat on the ground. Just let your feet fall out to the side. And if you have an eye pillow, you might like to put that under your eyes, over your eyes. If you have a blanket, you can pop that over yourself or under your head. It's getting really comfortable. Taking 3 deep, relaxing breaths. Be aware of the sounds in the distance. Moving your awareness from sound to sound without attempting to identify the source of the sound. Be aware of your physical body lying in Savasana. Be aware of your alignment, your chin lower than your forehead, your spine aligned, your arms close to the body, fingers away from the floor, as comfortable as possible. Become aware of your natural breath and keep it completely spontaneous. Repeat your intention for your practice 3 times with feeling. Rotating your consciousness around your body, starting with your right hand thumb, forefinger, middle finger, ring finger, little finger, palm, back of your hand, wrist, forearm, elbow, upper arm, shoulder, armpit, right side trunk, hip, thigh, knee, lower leg, ankle, heel, top of your foot, bottom of your foot, toes, first, second, third, fourth, fifth. Check your awareness that you're still awake and rotate your consciousness to the left side of your body, starting with the left hand thumb, forefinger, middle finger, ring finger, little finger, palm, back of your hand, wrist, forearm, elbow, upper arm, shoulder, armpit, left side trunk, hip, thigh, knee, lower leg, ankle, heel, top of your foot, bottom of your foot, toes, first, second, third, fourth, fifth. Now move your attention to the back of your body, your heels, back of your legs, buttocks, back, shoulder, arms, hands, whole of your spine, neck, back of your head, crown of your head, forehead, right temple, left temple, right eyebrow, left eyebrow, eyebrow center, right eye, left eye, right ear, left ear, right cheek, left cheek, right nostril, left nostril, lips, chin, throat, chest, 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 abdomen, 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 pelvis, pelvis, pelvis. Become aware of your breath, counting back from 17 to 0. Check your awareness that you're still awake. Awaken the feeling of warmth within your body. Your whole body is warm. Your feet are warm. Your legs are warm. Your back is warm. Your arms are warm. Now awaken the feeling of coolness within your body. Your head is cool. Your arms are cool. Your body is cool. Your legs are cool. Your feet are cool. Bring your awareness to the front of your closed eyes. Imagine the following objects as they are named: a setting sun, a red rose, a beautiful garden, clear blue sky, a rainbow, sound of the ocean, an elephant, an eagle, the full moon over the water, a waterfall, a turtle. Now is the time in your practice to repeat your intention 3 times. Bring your awareness back to your breath. Feel your body resting in Savasana, aware of the room that you're in and your surrounds, the floor, the walls, the ceiling, the windows, the sounds inside the room, the sounds outside the room. Recall the time of day and know that the practice of Yoga Nidra is coming to an end. I will chime the singing bowl once. The practice of Yoga Nidra is now complete. Wriggling your fingers and toes, stretching out through your hands and your feet, and slowly rolling to one side. And when you're ready, come to a comfortable seated position. And our yoga quote for today: yoga is a fountain of youth. You're only as young as your spine is flexible. Let's bring our hands to our forehead for kind thoughts and to our lips for kind words and to our heart for a kind heart. Namaste. Thank you for your beautiful yoga today, ladies.
Thank you. It was lovely.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
It's good. How are you feeling? You look very nicely rested, Gilda.